So today we actually will be talking about quality management system. Not necessarily quality management system, but mostly how does a quality management system help your business as it is. So, when we start this business, maybe it's a fashion design, I sew, I make shoes, many times you just start. I just want to have a business. I just want to run a business. So exactly what we'll start from is this. I'm going to ask this question, and this is an interactive class because we're all here to learn. We're here to take something away from it. So what I want to ask is, my first question is, so as a business or whatever it is that you do, what's your objective? Why did you start it? Great. All right. So we all have objectives, right? So, and these are, most of us here are actually SMEs, yet. We all know what SMEs are. We are small, medium enterprises. Yes, we are growing. One day, some of us will be global, or all of us can be global, depending on what we choose to be. Some people, some business decide to be local, and it works for them, and they are making billions of naira. So it's not everybody that will go global. Some are actually going to be local, and we are still going to make, we are going to make impact the way we have. So, our business objectives, it actually goes around this. You see, a lot of us has actually we've said something around this. Whatever English we have used, we talked about profitability. We want to make money. We talk about cash flow. It's part of money, ensuring that there's money coming in and going out, right? There's growth and expansion. Debbie said he wants to move. I'm sure she wants to influence more people. At least she wants to get to know more people. EdTech is looking at women, and very soon she'll probably be looking at women outside of borders of Nigeria, so to speak. So we want market share. We want people to know you in the fashion industry. Anna wants people one day that they will know that what's the name of your footwear? Giant. Kenans. So Kenans will be announced somewhere. As in when they mention the footwear, when they are mentioning names in the footwear industry, Kenans will be mentioned sometime one day. That's the market share. There are people knowing that there's Kenans. There was a time we knew Bata. I'm not going to mention so many of the shoes outside of Nigeria, but Bata, there was Famad, so to speak, if anybody knows those shoe companies. Do we? Those are actually Nigerian shoe companies, and they still exist. If you go to Ojota here, I think Famad is the one standing. And if you go in there, they have shoes. You should try. There are things happening in Nigeria. Those shoes has been... I used to remember them back then when we were young. If your shoes did not come from that company, then you have not bought shoe. As in, there's no where they are going to import that shoe from. That shoe is better, far better than US shoes or UK. Now, when we go to the market, what we're asking for is UK shoes. Please, UK, Turkey. Then it was Nigerian, and it was well made, and it will last you. As in, it was solid quality. All right, so employee satisfaction, I don't know. How many of us have employees here? You have somebody working with you. Good. One of your objectives should be this. In fact, it's a very key objective. Very, very key. The fact that your people, no matter how small your business is, that when they close their eyes, if anything happens, and they say, do you still want to work with Debbie? They will say, yes, I will choose to. She has to choose to want to work with you again and again. I hope you are not sisters, because that might be your friend. But she doesn't know you from anywhere. She still chooses to work with you no matter what. It's very key. Then innovation. As some people want to make impact, they want to change how things are seen. They want to change the narrative of technology when it comes to women. That's innovation. You're trying to do something that is quite different, something that people will catch on to. Then community engagement. So there was a project I was running recently. Has to do with waste management. It's crazy, right? Sometimes, when you look at it, like, are you sure I can go into waste management? But seriously, it's not crazy as long as you're making impact. Lagos has a problem of waste. Then you have an idea of actually to make that waste into money. And you can engage people to get it done. There are so many people walking around, they don't know what to do. Some people need minimal income. You just need to educate them to understand that this waste, some things that we use every other day, can amount to money. That was what the project was all about. And it was community driven. Like, we have to talk to people in the community. This is what you get. This is where you can deposit this. And you can actually get an incentive for this. So that's community engagement. Sometimes we want people to have better lives. in a community. So that's some of the objectives of an SME. All right. So if you look at it, today, like I said, we're talking about ISO 9001. So what exactly is ISO 9001? Has anybody heard about it before? Anyone at all? Anyone? Okay, great. You need to know, and I am glad that you're here today, that you are knowing. Because unfortunately, we leave this ISO 9001 or any ISOs to corporate organizations. In fact, there are some corporate organizations that will tell you it's even for manufacturing industries. Because, can you help me check this? My eyes. Anybody? Can you check if you have this, please? I don't know if there's any ISO on this. It's all usually there, but I just want to be sure this one has it. It's not there, right? Okay. Please, when you get home, I doubt it to be on the suite, so because this is Nestle and I expected it there. So anyway, when you get home, pick a pack of juice or any of those maybe cornflakes, cartons, and all that, or your maybe have meds, right, at home. Check it. There's always a number. There's always that ISO 9001 certified on it. And what does this mean? It's a certification for quality management system. So a management system is a set of processes, right, that you put together, or a set of system processes that is put together to actually manage how you run your business. So when you call it a quality managed system, it means that how to manage quality for your business. I broke it down to layman terms. That's what it simply means. That's systems you put, those systems, those policies, those things you put in place to ensure quality for your business. That's what a quality management system is. Now, ISO 9000, ISO actually means International Organization for Standardization. Now, this ISO is an organization of different people from different countries, right, and even all over the continent. They came together and say, and said to themselves, let's develop a set of requirements that every organization can actually live by. Do you understand? In terms of quality. So they said that it's from all over the world. I'm sure there are people from Nigeria there, are people from UK, from US, from Canada, from China, Singapore. They set up this organization. So they determine requirements for quality in every country, so to speak. So every member country that is under that organization actually follows those requirements. Now, they set the requirements for quality. How do we ensure, or what are the requirements an organization or a business must follow to ensure that they have quality or they deliver quality within their businesses? That is what ISO 9001 says. So the ISO 9001 is a set of requirements for quality management system. Like as defined here, you will see that the QMS includes what? People, tools, and processes. Those are the three major things for you to achieve quality within your businesses. People, tools, and processes. Number one, the key is people, but we start with processes. Process is a way of actually knowing how to get the things done. What are the steps, the step-by-step procedure to actually get things done within your business? You need to know and understand. Let me take one of the simplest one. You would think maybe you should not even have a process. So Debbie here wakes up in the morning. So she takes care of her husband, she takes care of her home. Then the next thing she gets to her table, right? She starts. How does she start? How does she influence people? She has to probably reach out to some people to say, I want to help you. So in a way, she has something called a marketing. She has to create a portfolio, so to say, and say, this is what I have done for so and so. This is the result of what I have done. Because if she tells me she's an influencer, one of the things I'll be asking her is, Debbie, who have you helped before? What are the results? Now, if she cannot provide the results, then I would be skeptical as to what she says she can do. Let's leave Debbie. So let me tell you, so Debbie needs to have processes in place to ensure that she can gain whatever it is that she wants to gain within her business. Do we agree? All right. So let's go to Esther. Esther is a fashion person, and she tells me that she is into fashion, clothing. She even dressed that way today. You can see, let me introduce you to her. She needs traditional wear. So I've told you, one of your customers, sorry, you too. So I'm not doing your jewelry. So, what are their processes? How do they get people to work with them? They need to create a portfolio. It's a set of processes. That's one of their processes. I'm not saying it's the main one. But one of the first things, one of the processes they have, maybe when somebody decides to work with them, is that number one, where is your material, right? I get you your material. It's two-way now. I get the material or you bring the material. If you bring the material, then I take yours. What do you do next? You take measurement. Good. So when you take measurement, what's the next thing? The pricing. Okay. All right. So we discussed it. You tell me your style. You discuss the pricing. Okay. So let me clear this. I don't know. I think most of us have not heard of ISO 9001 before. So this might not be. So let me just start on a fresh slate. For those that have heard before, I was going to disqualify a common myth that your ISO 9001 must just be documentation, just be writing. It's not that. It's you knowing what to do and the competencies of doing those things. If it's clear, then you're on the right track. In fact, so many documentation has been removed because people have believed that it's just about creating documents, and it becomes very burdensome for people that are actually implementing a 9001 framework within their organization. All right. So I want us to go home today, not because we want to get a certification, let me clear that, but because you want to implement that kind of system, that management system, a quality management system for your business, which ensures that you are delivering quality to your customers, you're delivering quality. In fact, you know, when your business is doing great and people are coming to you, you know your employees are happier. They want to do the work more. They want to, you know, when the company is doing, you know, if I'm working for, like I'll stand for my company, I work with PSE and I know what we, in fact, I'm always happy when I'm saying it. Just like any one of us sometimes. Let me just, let's say you're working with, please give me a name of a company, MTN or KPMG. Ha! Hey, everybody go here. Everybody in the street, you know, say, they work for KPMG. In fact, when I'm coming, I'll put the, you know, KPMG. Sherry is in KPMG. That should work because you are proud of where you work. That's how it works. When we are proud of where we work, then we'll be very gallant about it. And that's where the employee satisfaction that we mentioned in the first instance comes in. People are always very happy to say, okay, this is what I do and this is how I do it, because the employer is treating you right. The employer is not treating you right. In fact, they will know. That one is even widely spread, right? So processes tell the story. Tools, what we use, they support the effort. What are the tools that we use? Tools. What do you use? What are the tools and systems you use?
Okay, tools in terms of
any tool.
Okay, I use social media.
Good. Aside that, you use scissors now. You use machine. And a lot of you want to use technology. Those are your tools. Yeah. And they must be in good condition. Yes, sure. They are the ones that support the effort of your process. Your process is to sow. So your process, okay, when it comes to effort, your process of marketing, you use social media, right? To display your works, right? Your process of sewing, you use your machine, you have all those things, all those machines, all those, I'm trying to remember, the whipping one, this one, all those ones, you have that. In terms of influencing, you need social media, right? At the same time, some of the tools and systems you probably use is what again? Give me an example. Your phone, your data, thank you. Those are the things that will support the effort of whatever it is that you need to do. Then we come to the people. Those are the people that will help you, internal or external. They are still your people. In the sense that your friends that you talk to, they are your external people because they will provide the referrals that you need. Your boyfriends, your husbands, whoever it is that knows what you do and they know that is making impact, they will provide what it is that you need. In fact, if you have kids here, they will promote what it is that you do when they know that you do it. So, for example, let me use the example of my son. So, my son knows that I love to teach them when I'm at home. So, I teach when we are, okay, let's do your homework. They go and tell their classmates I'm a teacher. I'm not a teacher. So, anytime there's open day, they want me to come and teach something. And I'm always glad to do it. So, it's more like, have you been a teacher before? Are you a teacher? I am not a teacher. That's what I always get to tell them. I'm not a teacher. But they are promoting me for one thing or the other. Then one day they heard I was CEO. Hey, everybody knows I was CEO. Even when they didn't know what it meant. So they will promote you if they know and understand what it is that you do. So it's people will promote you. So those are the people that make things work all together. Some help your marketing efforts. You have to take some things out. I'm sure you might not be able to do everything in-house. Maybe somebody has to fix buttons for you outside. So that person also is one of your, what should I call it? That person also is one of the people that will help you as part of your management system. Now, let me tell you why the person external is your management system. The person needs to be able to tell a good story about what you do. If it's the stories the person will tell, let's say your marketing effort, I must be able to tell the right story. In the sense that if you are making shoes for women, the person should not go and say you are making shoes for children. It has to be clear. That's number one. Number two, if somebody is actually fixing buttons for you, they must fix the right quality buttons. You know, if they fix the wrong buttons, you're in trouble. So if anybody is doing something for you externally, then they must be able to do it right. And it must be in alignment with the type of quality that you want to deliver to your clients. If somebody is going to train for you, let's say you want to train a set of women, that person must do it right. If he does it wrongly, then you're in deep trouble. Next time when you call for training, who will come? Nobody. So wherever it is that you're outsourcing to, or whatever it is that is helping you to deliver or to help you achieve your deliverables, they are better the people that understand the standard of quality that you want. If you're buying something from, if you buy materials for the shoes, right? Did you wear any of your shoes? No. Oh, no, that's not good. You should. You should. If you're selling something, then you should wear it proud. In fact, you should be the first marketer of your business. Let people look at it. I know you're into fashion. Or somebody looks at you and like, this shoe is unique. Where did you get it from? Oh, I made it myself. You just sold to a customer. So please, please make it a duty. Invest that thing. You're your first marketer. Before people start talking about your business, you have to talk about it. So market yourself first. Market your business yourself first. Let people see it and say, oh, wow. Now, you don't have a sample of your shoes, do you? Here. But you're here in a meeting of women that can actually probably buy shoes from you. Okay. All right. So this is, like I said, as I was saying, this is very important to be able to portray ourselves for what you do. So let's move quickly. So key aspects of ISO 9001. Let's break this down. These are the things that actually help us to say, okay, this is quality, what the quality management system is about. Like I said, set out principles and requirements. What are the requirements that will help your business to grow? What are the requirements that will help you to increase your efficiencies within your goods? So, for example, I used to sew 5 clothes per month, but now I want to be able to sew 20. Like I was listening to someone at the program, one of those top fashion designers, I've forgotten his name. I'm not so much into fashion. And the guy said they've started 24-hour delivery. I'm sure he didn't start in one day. He would have built those processes over time. It would be foolish of me that I don't know anything about fashion now. I'm going to tell somebody I can deliver 24 hours for you. Like, seriously? I'll just be like, what's it, Kiki the tailor? So it's very important that we understand. So let's go to this. The first important thing or aspect of ISO 9001 is customer focus. Now, before I continue, please understand that ISO 9001 is for any business. Whatever we say here applies to any business you might want to do at all. Any. no matter the size, even if you want today go and start another Central Bank of Nigeria, it applies. And if today you just decide that what you want to do is to help people to cook food, as in you cook meals for them and supply to them, it applies. So the first thing is customer focus, right? You must ensure this 9001 or building up or implementing a quality management system helps to ensure that you meet your customer needs. So how do you ensure that you meet your customer needs? Can anybody tell me an example of how you ensure that you meet your customer needs? Can you help me, Bukola?
Okay, so using my own hobby as an example.
Of course.
So for my for our donors, right? They like transparency.
Okay.
They like to know, okay, what their money is going into and how the money is being utilized.
Okay.
So we do that by giving reports after every initiative that we do.
Thank you. Did everybody hear that? So one of their customer needs is their investors, right? Or their sponsors, so to speak. And one of their needs is to have, they have to have insight into what is going on. So for that, in a way, they've been able to provide reports. From those reports, what do you get? When you send in reports, do you get anything from them?
Yes, so they are, okay, these are used, and they know that, okay, if I make more donations, this is the more people that you can get to reach. So that way, they are more moved to donate more.
Good. So you get the feedback from them. It's all right. Thank you. That was where I was going to. So they get feedback. They already know what their customers need. And even after a while, after submitting the reports, they still has questions as to, okay, what else do we need to include in the report? Is there anything that is unclear? So let me go back to, who should I talk to? Edith. Okay, so how do you know what your customers need?
What my customers need? Okay, so when we put out our adverts, we make it clear what the programs are and their expectations. So based on their expectations, if it aligns with what they expect to get at the end of their program, then they register with us. So in the course of the training or after the training, we also find out what they've learned and if their expectations were met.
Good. So even after the training, they find out what they've learned and if their expectations were met. And somehow they get feedback as to, please, can you do this? So some might be fantastic. We would like to have more of this again. And someone will say, oh, please, can you go this route? That's feedback. Okay, I'm still coming. All right, I don't know which fashion designer I should pick now. Oh yeah, Debbie, help me. So how do you know what your clients need?
Okay, so literally, so how do I know what they need? We have a conversation. For me, so the business is one thing I try to do is to understand their personality, because that's what majorly from their fashion sense. So once I know their personality, and that way I'm able to sell to them what will meet their needs. In terms of, okay, I like cleaning house, I don't like showing cleavage, I go for this kind of event all my days or the week. So that way I sell to them the design that meets with their needs. And that way they're happy.
Okay. All in all, customer focus, it means that wherever your customers are, you need to know what their requirements is. Like, you can't assume. You can't assume that, well, this person, she's a red person. If I want to sew this clothes for her, I'll go and pick red. The fact is that for whatever occasion she wants to wear this time, she might not need red. So, like she said, she might get to know what their personality is, what kind of person this person is. And in a way, you might get to know, where are you wearing this to? Where are you going to be meeting there? Because you want to, is it a black tie event or it's a cultural type event? Are we together? So you have to know how. So you have to understand all the requirements of the customers. That's very key. Let's move quickly. Leadership commitment. We are the leaders of our businesses. Most of us sitting down here, we lead those businesses. So we must take responsibility for quality. So if you're sending the thing, you're sending your somebody needs to whip, you have to ensure that they whip it properly. You must ensure that they send it to the right people. So your people are telling you that Lagbaja A that used to fix button doesn't fix it well, but the money is small. But Lagbaja B that fixes it well, that money is higher pricing. Now say, well, just give Lagbaja A, it doesn't matter. But does whatever it is that Lagbaja A, what the whipper head does for you, is it going to be, will it meet the standard of the quality of your business? It depends on you. So you have to be ready to take responsibility for quality as leaders within the organization to ensure that you meet up with quality, right? So as leaders, even when we are not leaders and we are in an industry or in a business that has quality management system, it's important that we understand that our leaders are always at the forefront of determining quality for our business. Now, process approach, like I spoke about it now. Every business that we have, it has a process. And those processes have activities in there. So the process of sewing a trouser, right? Or has a, I don't know too many, no, let me lie. But let's say they will fix zip, they will fix something, they will sew something. Do you understand? Or let me use a shirt. There's a collar, there's a sleeve, there's a button, there's something like that. So there are processes to these things, right? And in many organizations, so this is where you start from. When we looks like we are still small and we are growing, it's very good to where we start from there. There's something called standard operating procedure. Has anybody heard about it? They call it SOPs, right? It's just a simple way of saying that when we want to do this, this is how we do it. When we want to sew, for example, when we want to sew a trouser, an Ankara trouser, this is how we do it. So we cut, right? Then we sew. Then we fix the zipper if needed, or buttons if needed, add the pockets. There's a process to those things. Now, sometimes so many people try to document the way it is done. Or let's even do high level process activity. Is that we collect from the client pays us, right? We speak to the clients on the requirements, we document what their requirement, document their size. Because it's important, you have to write their sizes down, Abby. Even if you put everything in your head, at least, well, you can put size in your head. It's possible. If you can put all the sizes in your head. So that means we move for paying for the thing. After you have paid, right? Then we move it to the production area. They produce the trouser. After producing, then it is ironed, or the finishing is done, so to speak. Finishing. You see, there's a process. So I'm going from the client requesting, right? The second thing is that the client pays, from payment to production, from production to finishing, from finishing to packaging, then packaging to what? Delivery. Are we clear? That's a set of processes. But within each of those processes, there are different activities, right? Because in the activity of payment, there's you invoice the client pays, you check, you send receipt. That's different activities. In the activity of sewing, you sew the pockets, sew the legs, sew the seams. Then the finishing, you do whipping, you fix button, you fix zips and all that. You can see that there are different activities within different processes. So we need to understand the processes that form our businesses. At the same time, be clear on the activities within those processes. If need be, so like I'm saying, I'm just trying to clear unnecessary documentations. If need be, let these processes or activities or procedures be documented so that it can be clear. So that one day somebody comes in, let's say somebody that is working with you decides to leave, another person comes in, you can say, this is how we do it. Please go through it. I hope you can understand and you can get to know how it is done. Is that clear? All right. So that's where the process approach is. So you have efficient workflows. This is how the work goes here. Let's say you employ a general manager, you're not there, and you want somebody to overlook the entire business production. So the person knows, after this is what happens. After this is what happens. After this is what happens. And also knows the people that are responsible for it. Good. So let me go to engagement of people. Now, engagement of people has to do with your employees. or who you're working with. The people you're working with need to understand what you're doing. You need to involve them. It can't be you alone. They need to understand, get them into the process. Because we have blind spots. There are some things that they are saying we don't see. So it's very important that we are able to engage the right people to accomplish our goals. So some people, you might be thinking you're doing great. So for example, some businesses started from the fact that people had to come in and pay cash to do the work, or for whatever it is that you're delivering. Then one day, you're thinking cash is good. At least people are paying cash. Then one day your employee or whoever is working with you, or somebody, your friend, comes and tell you, guy, why don't you start using POS for this your business or something? Or let people transfer. Say people are struggling. They would like to actually do more work with you. But because they are paying cash, they find it very difficult. So they take their business elsewhere. And it's something maybe you didn't know. But I know nowadays a lot of people now even use transfers and all that. But when you engage people, you're able to see the things you don't see. You can see things from their own view, or perception from the perception they get from external people. So that's what engagement of people is about. So for you to be able to deliver quality within your organization or within your businesses, you should understand the power of engaging people, especially engaging people that you work with, because that means you're telling them that you're important. I value your input into my business. And when people feel valued, that, you value what I'm doing with you, then they want to do more for you, because they see that you value them and they can do more. All right. So the next one is evidence-based decision making. So we talked about customer feedback, that when the people come for training, example, when they come for training, they say, okay, this training that we had today, right? We want to do more of it. So from that, they can take that insight, like, they want us to do this training. Now they can actually now go and repeat that training, because they say more people have a buy-in into it. Or they see another trainer, or they've recommended that we should take this other training. If you do this training, more people will come. Now they do it and find out that they can engage more people to come onto the training. So also for yourselves too, if you have any of those initiatives, an initiative worked well, based on your data you got from that initiative, maybe for participation or for the customer satisfaction rate is very high, then you know that initiative, or maybe after the training, there's meant to be you actually now have check on the impact metrics, maybe the impact of that training outside of that particular initiative. You now see that people, you've actually met, maybe there's a greater impact, there's a positive impact from that whatever initiative that you put together. Then you now begin to see, we can make this decision, we can take this decision because of what it is that we have experienced. But what has informed you is what? Is data. Because if you do not collect data, if you don't understand that data, if you don't collect feedback from the training, you will never know. You will never know. So let's say you want to reduce poverty and there's an initiative to, like I was saying, this community engagement now, there's an initiative for that. So, for example, we would have set some metrics down to say, this is how we know how this affects this community. Because you have set that metrics and we measure it, and if we see the impact, it can inform us that, this will be a very good initiative to actually move into another community. Or else, if it doesn't make that impact, then there's no reason to continue to do it. For example, also for those that are into fashion, if you ask me, or for those that Debbie that is influencing here today, she will know that sometimes she might look at it, what am I influencing the most, right? Maybe I'm influencing fashion, and she sees that, in fact, she can use it to know her strengths or her weaknesses. I'm not very good when it comes to fashion, I'm very good when it comes to this. But it's because of what she has collected, the data she has collected, that can inform her. Let's say you start sewing, right? And when you're sewing, you see the number of people that come to sew at your place, or the people that say, let's say you now start to receive, okay, this one is a man's wear. So you begin to see that, okay, menswear are receiving many referrals. That means you're doing something right. So, or you see negative, because that also can inform you when you see a negative result. So, for example, you are sewing men, you are sewing women, and somehow the women, there's a decline in women sales or women production. Why? You start to ask yourself why, but you will never know if there's no record. You will never know if there's no record. So you have to base for quality. to actually get quality, you have to have evidence-based decision making. That means your decision making has to be based on evidences, data that you have collected from maybe what you have monitored and measured within your business, right? So relationship management, relationships with your stakeholders. Well, Bukola mentioned it. When it comes to their sponsors, as the case may be, that kind of relationship that they have, the relationship you have with your suppliers. So by maybe somebody supplying fabrics to you. When they understand the kind of person or the kind of standards that you want to achieve, they will not sell you wrong fabrics. They will not manipulate or compromise on quality because they understand what your quality is. But if you are the person that already you have given them the idea that you can work with anything, then they can decide to just make a mess of the whole thing. But your suppliers, your customers need to know what you stand for. That you don't, this is the standard that Debbie would like. This is the standard that Esther would like, and this is what we can give to her, to each of them. So before I go to risk-based thinking, continuous improvement. It means that we can take feedback and continue to improve on what it is that we are doing, or whatever our deliverables are. That's what continuous improvement. So for you to be able to establish a quality or to establish quality in your business, all these things are very key. And we're talking about continuous improvement. This is equally key. That means you're taking feedback and you're putting it back into your business. You're taking lessons learned. You have an initiative, you learn from it. What went wrong? What went right? What can we do better? What can we do more of? What should we continue to do more of? You put it back into the next initiative so that you can get better results. Okay, I sewed this dress, or we sewed this dress, or I made this shoe for a particular customer. What is the feedback the person gave to me? Oh, he said we did not deliver on time. Can we deliver better next time? How do we ensure we deliver better? Oh, while we were making this shoe, what happened? The person that we sent the shoe to go and maybe fix the sole or something, messed up something. How can we ensure that that doesn't happen again? Can I talk to more than one supplier? Should I have, maybe you have expected, you have a particular, this is one of the things that we can improve on. We have a particular supplier that works for us, or a vendor that we work with, and we know this person is sure. Then one day that person fails. One very, very, very critical moment, the person fails. So what does that tell us? It tells us that we need to look for alternatives. That means even if this is the person we work with mostly, we should have other people that we already know are ready to work with us when we need it. So that is very key. So continuous improvement is the idea of improving our quality, improving the service by taking back lessons that we've learned from other things. So risk-based thinking, it helps us identify potential issues. So I don't want to go to the technical aspect, so I'll hold the negative aspect. Today, we are talking about negative risk. Anything that threatens the objective of your business. That's what we'll talk about today. But tomorrow, you might hear it elsewhere. Risk can also be positive. But we'll stay with negative today. So risk-based thinking is thinking about what are the things that will not help me to meet my objective. What are the things that would inhibit those objectives? That's risk. What's the risk of me going out today? The risk is rain can fall. The heat can be very scorching. Like the hot sun. Yesterday was very hot. I don't know if anybody experienced it. So you start to think about that. That's risk. I want to get out of my house and I'm thinking, what's the risk of going out today? Rain can fall. Because I've thought about the fact that the rain can fall, what do? I probably hold my umbrella that day. If I have one, I don't keep one. No. But for those that keep one and you have those small ones, you throw it in your bag. Peradventure rain falls, right? Or, the sun will be very scorching. What do? I decide to wear a light material so I don't attract more heat. I know when I see it's very hot, I don't like to wear black. So, because I know it will, there's nothing I can do about the black because I'm already attracting it. But I try to lessen the effect by wearing something that maybe will reflect the light, right? So that's risk. That's actually envisaging what could happen. What could happen that this initiative we're about to start, this very first one that would not be productive? What could happen? Oh, we don't plan properly. Oh, we don't get this. Oh, we don't get that. Oh, this training that we want to take, what could happen? What could make it go AWOL, or what could make maybe the trainer said it's possible the trainer will not be available. So what will I do? So the idea of understanding risk is to find alternatives. What's the risk of your machines going bad? It's possible. Has it not happened before? And you are in a critical moment. What's the risk that, oh, you'll not be able to deliver on the job? What do you do? Many times, you probably have a friend that has a machine somewhere that you can quickly ask, I mean machine, I work, right? That's the risk. The risk of you not being able to get this done is that you probably have, what should I call it now? You want to go and work somewhere, or you have an alternative supplier, alternative person that can fix button for you, or maybe all your staff does not come. No, you can't say you've not experienced it before. They can call you sick, they can call you anything. You must have something as a contingency for those things. So when you want to attain quality within your business, you have to have a risk-based thinking mindset. Always thinking, what could probably go wrong? What could go wrong? What could go wrong? What could go wrong? What could go wrong? And when you're thinking about what could go wrong, you start finding, it's not about thinking about what could go wrong, it's about providing solutions to mitigate what could go wrong. Find, okay, if this goes wrong, this is what we can do. If this goes like this is what we can do. This one goes like this is what we can do. So that's the idea of risk-based thinking. So you can see these 8 key aspects of ISO 9001, or I would say key aspects of a quality management system. Ensuring quality. How do you manage quality within your business? These are 8 key areas. I would reiterate them again. Customer focus. Understand what your customer needs and always try to understand it. Take it back to improve your business, right? Second one is leadership commitment. You must be committed to quality as a person. If you miss out on that, because I'm saying this because we are all leaders of our businesses here. If you miss out on that, then every other person, your employees, will also miss out on it. So you are the forefront leader when it comes to quality within your businesses. 3 is a process approach. Always ensure that you have your processes in order. That's how you can be efficient. It's very important to have your process very clear and everybody understand what is involved. Now, engagement of people. Like I said, you need to get people that are working with you involved in what you're doing. Evidence-based decision making. Collect, monitor, measure. What you don't monitor, you cannot measure. And what you don't measure, you cannot improve. If I'm making profits, if I don't monitor if I'm making profit, can I measure if I ever make profit? If I don't measure if I'm making profit, then how will I improve? I'll just see how we are making money. Money is coming in, money is going out. Whereas maybe you are just, in fact, you might be making a loss. You are deciding on the price you want to put on your product. You better have the prices in the market. Current prices. Now it's even current prices. You can't even try, come back. Relationship management, key stakeholders, have the right people that you're talking to. Involve them. Have good collaboration with your stakeholders, right? Risk-based thinking, right? Always think about what could possibly go wrong so that you can prepare for emergencies. You can prepare, you can have alternatives to be able to get the work done quickly. Sorry, I spent so much time here because it was really key. So how does it help SMEs? I know I have spoken about this. It helps your service and product quality. When you have standardized processes, that means you have a consistent way of doing things. That means it is more efficient, right? Then you can provide constant quality to your clients. Maybe the way you talk to clients, the way you address your clients. There are some people, there's one thing, thank God, the next session is going to be talking about customer service. There's something very, very key when it comes to quality. It's customer service. I know we'll be talking about it. Very, very key. In fact, there's no amount of quality you can tell me you have if you don't have a good customer service. All right. It boosts efficiency and reduces waste. You have collected requirements, right? And you've not signed and sealed it. You have sewn the clothes. Then the customer say, no, I'm not doing raw, but it's trouser I want. You're even lucky. You can still cut the raw, but it's trouser. But let's say you have done whatever style it is and say it's trouser, because you are not clear on the client requirements before you went. So, if you are clear and you have those processes being done, you can easily and easily reduce waste. Enhance market credibility. People see that you can do what you say you do. And with that, they provide referrals. You have referrals, you go into business. They increase customer satisfaction. People are happy working with you because they know that you give the right quality. With that, you can open doors to new markets. That means more people can, somebody can say, I took your business out of to someone, my friend in UK, it was looking good and all that. It improves employee engagement. I think we've talked about it. There's nothing here we have not talked about. Enhanced risk management and business continuity. When you know that you have contingencies in place, nothing stops your work. So you already know that if your machine breaks down, there's somebody else you can run to. That means you continue to do the work. That means there's no stopping the work. There's no excuses to the client that, sorry, I couldn't do what we said we would do and all that. Provides a competitive advantage in the sense that when people know that you have good quality, your services are of good quality, or your products are of good quality, they always want to come to you. So that means anywhere you are being talked about, people can say so many great things about you, and you can always have that advantage over every other competitor that is bidding or bidding for that particular business. Then it helps to meet legal and regulatory requirements. As you grow and you scale your business, there will be times when people want to work with you only because they understand that you are ISO 9001 compliant, so to speak. That means quality is foremost on in your business. That means you put quality first. When they can recognize that, I'm not saying it's a possible thing for us to do when we now grow, when we scale, we can decide to actually be compliant and be certified and say my business. What's the name of your business? Adira. Adira is ISO 9001 compliant. Trust me, it goes a long way because it's a global standard. It's not an in-house. And even if you go and talk to someone, you can actually develop yourself as an ISO 9001 expert or person. So you can actually talk to people and when you're talking to people and they are introducing your business, and they see that you are ISO 9001 certified, they understand that you understand the intricacies of quality, and with that they want to even work with you because they feel that that's something that they will gain from you. So I've said this, you can understand, you have better engagement with your clients, with stakeholders, as it is because they know what you can do. With that, when they know your strength in terms of quality, you can easily secure contracts and funding because they know that this person is top-notch. This is not just some roadside person that we are talking about. This is person that actually has quality in their mindset, and they know that you can actually make structured decision-making. For every woman that is mindset is when it comes to quality, your mindset is quality. You're always thinking about quality. For me, I think about quality a lot. It's part of me. And I always tell people, quality is not about money. A lot of people always think quality is about money. Quality is not about money. Money might have a part, but it's not about money. You can have something that is low, the money is very low, but at the same time, you can make do of it. I can have a shirt that I bought for 1,000 naira, have it properly ironed, have it properly laundered, I wear it, and you that are wearing a 12,000 naira shirt will not match me. So it depends on how you build that. So quality is a mindset thing, and it's very, very important. I think this is where, please go to the next slide. We will stop for today. All right. So I hope that okay.
Standards and best practice, your partner in professional development.